Hi YouTube! We're back with some strange and unusual things regarding the Chris Watts case. So, let's get into it.
Both alive at that point. Okay. Is there any reason you would feel uncomfortable to tell me that they were not alive at that point?
Okay. Wasn't it a video or anything? Wasn't it a video or anything? Wasn't it a video or anything?
It's hard to see.
Hey guys, welcome to the news scroll hole. Today we're going to be getting into the red pill or the blue pill to the matrix of the Watts family murders and the shenanigans going on within this case. So let's break it down.
Put my lunchbox and stuff in the truck and then grab the kids and put them in the bench seat in the back.
Okay. So Shanann, is she kind of on the floor in the back? And they're just on the bench? Okay. And both alive at that point? Okay. Is there any reason you would feel uncomfortable to tell me that they were not alive at that point? Okay.
Wasn't it a video or anything?
It's hard to see. Okay. And I believe you.
Wasn't it a video or anything?
It's hard to see. Okay. And I believe you. I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving you all the opportunities to be comfortable enough to tell me exactly. Okay.
They were alive.
Okay.
Trust me, I hear that every day when the fellow is talking to me at the site.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
When she said, "Daddy, no."
Did everyone else hear what I just heard? Did everyone else just hear what I just heard? So Chris Watts just said to them, "Don't you have it on tape?" And they're like, "Well, we really can't say it." Interesting. I guess they see the same thing we see, a bunch of shadows in the dark. Anywho, what do you think about that, guys? Let's listen to what Papa Ronnie has to say about it.
Stunning new claim in Colorado. A man charged with killing his wife and 2 children now says it was his wife who killed the kids. Clayton Sandell is in Frederick, Colorado, following that story for us.
How did he say he did it when he snapped?
He said he did the same thing that she did to him, that she did to the girls.
It was the theme of Shanann doing something to the girls that I had just given him prior to leaving the room, but I felt like we were making progress. Immediately after Chris had admitted to his father that he had murdered his wife because she had murdered the girls.
Chris had admitted to his father that he had murdered his wife because she had murdered the girls.
We knew immediately we needed to get back in there. We didn't know at that point what Ronnie's reaction was going to be, so time was of the essence for us to get back in there.
So that we could redirect the interview and try and get more of the facts and more of the truth.
I find that fascinating that they're literally going on just a confession when there's been so many false confessions throughout our history. I just find that interesting. Anyway, then we have the gay lover allegedly coming out from Chris Watts' prison. You know, they always have to throw a gay lover in the mix just to make it more salacious.
Text.
Yes.
When people delete stuff off phones, usually we go,
No. It wasn't malicious at all. It wasn't malicious at all.
Phones, usually we go,
No. It wasn't malicious at all. It wasn't malicious at all.
And Nichol Kessinger admitting that she's written Chris Watts. Well, why wouldn't she be allowed to write her boyfriend? There was no trial, y'all. What y'all make of this Life After Lockup edition? I think it's going to be a series. We're going to call it Chris Watts in Prison and Nikki K. Life, Love, and Letters After Lockup. Comment your thoughts below thus far.
So that was what? Did you say no, there's not? Did you deny it?
I believe I just denied it, but I mean, at that point, because when she would accuse me at the beach, it was a lot of like, there's nobody else, there's nobody else, or like, and when we got back home, she always like said there's got to be somebody else, because she'd always talk to her friends like Christina or somebody on text messaging, and they'd always say there's got to be somebody else if he's not wanting to sleep with you, like
cheating at that point.
Else.
So what'd she say?
She's like, I knew there was somebody else. I knew there was somebody else. I didn't come out to say, that there is somebody else, but she obviously already knew.
Then your response to that was what? Did you say no, there's not? Did you deny it?
I believe I just denied it, but I mean, at that point, because when she would accuse me at the beach, it was a lot of like, there's nobody else, there's nobody else, or like, and when we got back home, she always like said there's got to be somebody else, because she'd always talk to her friends like Christina or somebody on text messaging, and they'd always say there's got to be somebody else if he's not wanting to sleep with you, like he's getting it from somewhere else, and there's nowhere else. I mean, she couldn't really say I would get anywhere else because I was using those Antarctica gift cards, so it's kind of like, she just me getting distant, but she knew, and that's mainly the reason why I talked to her, because I knew, like, after that night, it was just like, it felt like, I just felt guilty, more guilty than ever before.
Yeah, that, it seems then that it would have had to been a pretty quick transition from two people talking to this, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was like, I don't want to, like, trying to think of the last things we were talking about, but it was, I don't feel like I love you anymore, and then she was like, you're never going to see the kids.
Oh,
that was it.
That's perfect, Chris. That's exactly what we need. Okay. And I know it's hard to walk through that again, but that's exactly what we need. So then, as soon as she started talking like that, then it was on. Okay.
I don't know what's worse, Chris Watts not being able to finish a sentence, or the detectives continually finishing his sentences. It really irks the ish out of me. But anywho, I count 1, 2, 3 phones on Nichol Kessinger's lap. But I don't know if I can count. Maybe you guys can count them for me. 3s again. What do you think of that? Every time I listen to that, I picture, and this is just allegedly, this is just the image I get in my mind. I get an image in my mind of Nichol Kessinger waiting with Chris for Shanann to get home, because he's going to confront her and he's going to tell her about Nikki. And Nikki, all of a sudden, when Shanann walked in and saw Nikki standing there, she was like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to kill you. And just attacked her like a wild banshee, allegedly, in my mind, in my mind's eye. Comment your thoughts below. If you guys didn't see our video relating the Watts case to the new American Horror Story season coming up, check that out. So that's my summation of today's recordings from Chris Watts' second confession. The first confession was that he saw Shanann strangulating the girls on their baby monitors, so he went in and lost his mind and killed her. And then he confessed, and his attorneys brought the plea deal to the DA, and he's been locked away ever since. there's been a lot of different alleged people coming out with different stories, jailhouse stories of gay lovers, and that's been a narrative that's been heavily, heavily, heavily pushed by all the mainstream schmedias, very shady news outlets. Anyway, leave your thoughts below. I don't think Chris Watts or Chris rots in jail would murk his whole family over a female if he was into dudes. But, you know, hey, what do I know? Leave your thoughts below. Be back soon with another video.